Good morning, Vietnam! Welcome to WOW's Operation Replays, and this is Lord Holland, and today we're bringing you another tech ship video. We have another ship I usually see a lot in operations now these days. Dallas. We're bringing you Dallas. Now, this is a ship that was very powerful in Tier 6 ops. She's very difficult to use these days, I'll be honest. It was hard. She'll struggle in most ops. If you get the right op, she shines. Like all tier 6s, if you can get that perfect op that works for this ship, you'll shine perfectly. But we're going to show you how to make the ship shine. Now, if you don't have personal merits or in a clan and anything, you're just going to have 5% to credits, 50% to commander free ship XP, 50% to commander XP, and then 50% to free XP. So it really does add up as you get into a clan. Now, again, I get a very lucky because I have a personal merits flag with a military contributor flag, so I get a higher one than most new players. So I'm fortunate, and I feel bad that they don't release this flag. I think everyone should have this flag. I think this flag should come back again, but be as a special one that gives you like less. I truly don't believe it should come back. I believe everyone should have this flag easily. Now, this Dallas is, like our Pensacola, is stock. It has main armaments 1 and aiming systems mod 1. Those are the two critical ones. Now, for health, if you were running it, you're going to gain a sizable amount of health back. That's about 4,000 more health. But again, it only makes so much more difference. And at this point in operations, you're not... That 4,000 health ain't... It'll help you survive a little bit. But compared to tier 8 ships, you're at a severe disadvantage in health. Let's be honest. And range... 13 kilometer stock, 14.3 fully upgraded. And her reload doesn't change much, so you're working with a pretty nasty reload too, which is unfortunate for a light cruiser like this. For a reload, for health, yeah, she doesn't get that much, so you're working with 24,000 and then 28,300, so you're looking at maybe a battleship shell or two. That's not much, maybe one battleship shell. That's not going to help you much. So, if you're going to run in an op, just go right up. Just take the hull and go straight up. Helena is going to be much more of a joy for you. I'll guarantee you that. It's just a better ship. And the Wooster is totally worth it. Wooster is an amazing ship. Now, let's get into her guns. She gets an odd setup like Pensacola. 3 turrets of 3 and 2 turrets of 2. So, again, odd. But she gets this is where it gets kind of sad. She gets an 8.5 reload and a 5.1 shift time. I mean, Bajoni has 8 seconds and a 4.8 second shift time. Or switch time. It really does come at a disadvantage. And Bajoni has range to actually make it work. Now, the dispersion is pretty good. Now, the ship is mostly, so I'll be honest. This ship, like Bajoni, you're going to be shooting mostly HE. So, HE damage... 2,200, 12% of fire, which is actually very decent. AP damage, 3,200. Respectable against, the cruisers. But again, you have to be basically point-blank range for the AP. Maybe 5 kilometers at best. And that gets even hazardous if it's a ship that has torpedoes. So just be aware of that. Now, airstrike, she gets... That's not really applicable in operations, but she only gets 1 30-second reload. It's not going to help you much against subs. AA, now with the added range, she does get a little bit more, but again, AA, not going to help you much. But she does get the defensive fire consumable, so her defensive fire is still pretty decent. So with that and that paired, she is a pretty good AA beast. She's always been a decent little AA beast, but it'll probably only be enough to protect you, not your allies. So keep that in mind. Rudder shift with a full, rudder shift and everything, it would go down below probably like 8 seconds possibly. But since we're working with a complete stock one, like most players might, and since it is a million credits for that module, that is a lot of money for a new player. So we're working with it at the very hardest level. 11 seconds. That's painful for a tier 6. So for concealment wise, actually really good. 11.5. Now with concealment, that does go down to 10.4. So you're getting about with the full upgrade, you're getting about a 4K range and window between your stealth and your firing. So not bad. If you can use an island to cover, you can shoot undetected but the shells just don't have that shell arc like Cleveland. Cleveland has good shell arcs. This one only has average at best. But again, we're going to show you how best to use it. So if you're grinding the ship in ops, your main targets are going to be cruisers and DDs. If you target those two ships in a Dallas, you'll get decent XP and you'll be able to get out of this thing a lot faster. Easily. That goes the same for randoms. That goes the same for operations. You could do it in co-op, but why grind a 6 in co-op when you could just grind it in ops and get more XP? So there is a sizable difference. So if you're going to run a 6, run it in operations because you can get through it faster. But let's get into the replay and I'll show you how to run a Dallas. Hello and welcome to another Tech Line. Now, today we're running Dallas. Dallas is another ship that I see a lot of in operations. But it's not utilized. Now, I can be getting... For my Tech Line videos, I'd be getting very decent matchmaking. Pensacola was Defense of Newport, and we got Cherry Blossom for Dallas. Now, teammates, a Scharnhorst, Renown, Bayard, Shores, Dallas, Devonshire, and Farragut. Now, Devonshire is another ship I see a lot of. The only downside is I did kind of like that ship, but I also didn't, so I'm hesitant to make a video on that one, but I'll give it a shot. Now, for tier 6, as far as damage goes, you usually want to shoot for 100,000 in a tier 6. That's like your best. That's what you can shy for. That's your best damage, and that's what's good. If you can aim for about 100,000 damage in a tier 6, you're doing pretty good. Now, as far as placement on the end of the board, I would shoot for... I mean, always first place is amazing. First place shows you did great. But the top 5 would be optimal. But if you really wanted to show your stuff, top 3. Top 3 would be the best. If you can place in the top 3 in a tier 6, that's pretty good. And very acceptable. Especially in a match like this where well, it is mostly 6s and mostly low tiers. But like in the Pensacola game where it was all mostly 8s, yeah. Now, as you can see, Dallas, fairly decent reload at 8.5 seconds. It's pretty long. Now, remember, this ship is completely stock. The only modules I have on, I only put a few modules. It is running a 10-point captain, but I do run the aiming module, aiming systems 1, and main armaments 1 for my turrets. That's literally 1. Because I'm going for cheap and affordable, because if you're a new player and you don't have the most credits, this is how you kind of want to run it. You want to run it in an economical way. You want to run a ship in an economical way if you don't have a lot of money. So that's honestly fair. You want to run your ship how you want to run it, but you want to save money. Now, my friend Devil never puts modules on. And I can tell he pays for it sometimes, but he saves money. But every ship needs modules, let's be honest. I have AP loaded, so I can sit at all these cruisers. But I'm just not getting the aiming dispersion down. And since Dallas is on the light cruiser line, these are 152, so they don't have, so they're not punchy. So you got to make your shots count. Like right there, I get a nice 6K salvo. It's not bad, but it's hard. The low caliber and the long reload is hard. Now, Helena's a pretty good ship. She's has a decent reload, lots of guns. I get lucky there, pretty good damage. And you know, 40,000 damage, 42,000 damage, and 4 minutes in a tier 6, that's at least halfway to our goal. If you can't crack 100,000, 80,000 would be acceptable in a tier 6. But again, there's no way, if I was a 6 and I went into the port, there's no way I'd be able to catch up and do any damage in the last half, because I would be so far behind. So in a tier 6, you've got to take aggressive positioning to really maximize your ship. And also knowing the ops counts. Now, usually, like I usually do, but no one's in a position to go for these DDs. So, I know I can get some easy damage here. And I've got, you know, 2/3 health, so I'm still pretty healthy. But, you know, 24,000, not a lot of health. So, I gotta be very careful. Very careful. And I'm detected, so I know the DDs are here. And there's my top grade gunner going into effect. So yeah, for the skills, I've got Expert, Gunfeeder, Priority Target, Adrenaline Rush, and top grade gunners. I'm going for DPM builds, honestly. Now, the Renown picks that up, but I do most of the damage to it, so... And since these are destroyers, like I always say, damaging the destroyers will get you mucho gracias XP. I don't pick up both those kills, but, you know, I was up to about 42,000, now I'm up to 60,000. So about 18,000 damage on both those destroyers. So, really good damage. We're at 61,000, so we need 40 more thousand damage to reach the 100,000 goal, which is doable. And Barry Byard saying good job, and I say Wilco. Thank you. Mr. Dirt, he was very nice. He was a nice player. And I'm like, you the bra. Well done. Because I'm pretty sure he knows I'm doing a really good job in a tier 6. But I need to get health back. And I'm typing in chat. And I'm like totally stock, making a video for YouTube. And he goes, "Hi, Mom," like everyone does when they're on TV. It's classic. And they're like, LOL. Mr. Ebo, he was in the shores. It's always nice to have a little humor in these ops. But we've done pretty well. Everyone's still alive. I think that says Mom loves World of Tanks. you should interview her. Now, I wanted to say this in chat, but I wanted to be a little bit professional. I was going to say, you know, the classic thing is when someone says that, at least in my time, and you'd hear this on, like, TV and stuff, and then usually say, is your mom hot? Well, I wanted to say that, but I wanted to be professional. But that's just what I thought. Now I get all my health back up, so I'm going back into the fight. Ship's brand new, I got my health back, I'm going back in. Now I do plan on doing a tech video for the Hatsuharu, because I do see those guys pop up every now and then. And anyone that wants to regrind their Haru line in operations, give you some help on how to do that. Because a grind like that would take you 3 battles with blue boosters, not much. I think it takes about 10 battles with blue boosters on the Shiriatsu to grind the Akatsuki. Or Akatsuki. No, Akatsuki, yeah, Akatsuki. It's about 10 battles on the Shiriatsu, because I timed it when I did it my last reset. So it's about 10 battles with blue boosters. So that's not much. And I believe that's just going for the range and the hull, and then onward.
The ship is on fire.
Now I've got 3 aiming at me. I've got to be very careful. I got light cruiser guns, so I'm just shooting HE. There's no point. At this range, HE. So this whole line is basically an HE spam. Wooster, but I'll honestly let you know that Wooster, absolutely worth it. You know, she's average in randoms, but it's just a fun ship. If there were tier 9 ops, she would be a ship I would love to play in ops, just because of the DACA. Having like 3 of those ships in a division, or 4, yeah, 4 of them in a division. Can you imagine the DACA going out, or 4 Des Moines? Ugh, disgusting. Again, we need higher tier ops, Wargaming. We really do need higher tier ops. Because you've done your rework, you said it was positive. Now, I know you're all PvP versus, but people don't like PvP. And really start moving stuff into PvE for players, because that would really give this game another life. A game needs quality of life, you know, things, and a place where people can go just to play the game and have fun. And access, like, the majority. Now, we understand, you know, competitive, like, steel thing being locked behind, like, ranked clan battle. I disagree with that. Now, I do pick up the DD. We're up to 82,000 damage now. So, very good damage. I know the Kagero is coming out. So, and I'm launching my fighters so I can see them. Yep, and he's right there. He's picking up on my hydro. He'll be on my, you know, my hydro soon, which is about 4 kilometers. So he's in my hydro range. My plane's spotting him now. So it's just about backing up and getting all my guns on target now. A little bit short on that one. Now, 90,000, almost 90,000 damage now in a tier 6, so very respectable.
All forces, provide cover for that
And
target.
I'm like, help provide cover, because the Bayard's really going in there real deep, and it's kind of concerning.
Fighter returning to ship.
Very concerning. I mean, he's going to go down, but it's unfortunate. I think he was shooting the other airfield too, so someone was shooting it because it's pretty low health. Now the airfields also do scale to the tier of the ship. Tier 8, the airfield health goes up. tier 6 and everything, they do go down. So they do scale that via the tier. And I can't overmatch or do anything. Yep, and our renown is thankful enough that I would have liked to have had that kill, but it's whatever. Like, you need basically a perfect broadside for these AP shells to work. So, unless you've got a perfect broadside, you know, just use HE. I messed up. I should have been firing HE more times. And I was shooting AP. So that's not my bad. Yeah, Bob Iron goes down. That's unfortunate. But I've got like 2 fires on this Yuhagi. But my health is going down pretty bad, so trying to get some AP into its side, but it's not happening. The Farragut has come up to help me.
The ship is on fire.
And I'm like, I can't keep living like this. I got 2 aiming at me. I do pick up that kill. Now, I've pressed about 116,000 damage, which is very respectable for a tier 6. Again, if you can crack 100,000 in a tier 6, pat yourself on the back and say, good job, well done. That's what you want to strive for in any tier 6, is 100,000 damage. If you can crack that, it's good. It's good enough. I would say about 150,000 in a tier 7 and 200,000 on average in a tier 8. That's your damage goal. Now, I know the DD was going for that. Now, I think, okay, he's going to probably die, but he gets really lucky and evades those torps.
Battle ends in 5 minutes.
Now he is undetected, but I do get a good blind shot in there
We've
and
sunk
kill
an
him.
enemy destroyer.
Now I came really close to like a natural selection, but I just couldn't get it. It's unfortunate. If I hadn't had some of my kills stolen from me, like those 2 DDs, I probably would have had a natural selection. Now I can see he's perfectly broadside to me now. And I do get 3 citadels, 11,000 damage. And I do pick that up. 165,000, so really respectable damage.
Acknowledged.
But the Aoba's turning into me now that you can see me, so yeah, I can't get those broadside shots no more, which is unfortunate. So 178,000 damage, very